Welcome to Sorcha and Lilac, the Island Knitter Podcast TV. I'm Claire, and here you'll find a cozy mix of knitting, music, and stories inspired by Orkney life. Are you struggling to find adorable but unique baby clothes that don't cost a fortune? Imagine creating beautiful, practical garments for your little one, even if you've never touched a crochet hook before. What if I told you that you could craft charming baby clothes from scratch without ever reading a single pattern? Get ready to unlock a secret that will change how you think about DIY baby essentials. We're breaking down the barriers to beautiful crochet, making it really easy for anyone to create adorable, practical garments for their little ones.
Hello there, I'm back on my sofa, and I hope you've got your sunglasses on today because it's full of colour love. Now this jumper that I'm wearing today, you've already seen in one of my episodes where I picked up the yarn last summer from Nen, and I bought the Colour Lab by West Yorkshire Spinners and paired it with some toning mohair, silk mohair from Drops. And I used the pattern by Petite knit for the slip over, but instead of doing a ribbed collar, I did a rollover collar and I added some sleeves. And this is the first time I've had it on today. And it's very light. I knit it on 5mm needles and it's very light. Last Saturday was it? Can't remember which day my yarn arrived. I got about 20 balls, 15 of them different colours and 5 of them one colour, to start on my little baby clothes in crochet. My granny baby clothes. Well, I'm old enough to be a granny. So I can call them granny baby clothes, but you know what I mean. Granny square baby clothes. And I've done an awful lot already. I'm just working on this hexagonal, well, it's not exactly a square, hexagonal shape at the moment to make a cardigan. I'm actually on the last row, just going around the last row. So I've done 2 colours of each. 2 colours mint, 2 rows mint, 2 rows orange, 2 rows of a sort of a camel colour, 2 rows of a sunshiny yellow colour, and 2 rows of denim blue. So I've already done one side and I've sewn up the sleeve. So there you go, that's the first side, and I'm finishing the second side so that I can make it into a little cardigan. I'm going to have to put a little panel at the back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do to do that, but would you like to see some of the things I've already had a go at? Oh yes, I've been busy. I have these little gauze lilac bags that I bought to put in spare yarns. That's an idea in my head at the moment. I'll put that ready because that's going to be ready soon. So what was the first thing I made? The first thing I made was inspired by one of the little outfits on the Pinterest board. So it's already in its little bag, keeping clean and dust free, is a pair of wee trousers. Aren't they cute? With a ribbed top and a little bow, and on each side there is a different coloured square, see, joined together. Now these are sort of size wise, I would say 0 to 3 months. It could be even up to 6 months, dependent on the size of your baby. So that's that one. Isn't that cute? So that goes back in its little bag. So the next one I made was the cardigan, I think. I did a little cardigan to go with it. Or similar, well, because they're all similar colours anyway. I used some of them to make a little cardigan. So this is the little V-neck cardigan. There you go, with a colourful edge. It's what I would call college kid type thing, and with a square on the back. So that's cute. These all need buttons yet. That'll need buttons. It's got buttonholes. Then the next, I decided I'd had enough of those colours for a bit, so I decided to do something different. So I started on a more pretty set, and this is a little top. There you go, a little top, dressy top, perhaps. It's long enough, isn't it? Dressy top. There you go, with some little frilly edges. That, I love the colours of that. That's cute. In that sort of cute colour range, I did a couple of other things, some later than others. I made a little onesie. Now, this is not, these items that I am crocheting are inspired by what I see on my Pinterest board. I don't have any patterns for these, but I did have a pattern from this one, and I've actually found her on YouTube, and she's called Maisie and Ruth, and she has a Scottish accent. Oh, it's lovely. And so I started, I found her on Pinterest, and she had a pattern for a little onesie. So that's your little onesie. My way, of course. I've adapted it slightly. So it needs sewing in the ends here. So it's got the back end there. Back end with the opening at the back, because we don't pull things over heads, do we? And I just trimmed it with a little bit of lilac on the legs and on the sleeves and on the neck. And what you do is you put your buttons along there and fold that up, and then just use the trebles that you've been crocheting with to make buttonholes. But that is so cute, isn't it? I want to make a few of those in different colours. I might do a lilac one with lemon edges, you know, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's the only one I've done via a pattern. I think I needed that just to be able to work out lengths and things like that. There are places on Pinterest where you can find out what the lengths are for leggings. Leggings are a good one to work with. When you do them in crochet, they're a lot quicker as well. I also did another little cardigan with well, actually it's a little jumper with buttoned up button jumper for the front with no sleeves, a sleeveless one. More like a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Just a cropped t-shirt type thing. Whee! And it's a raglan style. Oh yes, I'll just show you that. That's a raglan style. The onesie was more of a circular yoke style. So if one of the ladies commented on one of my videos some time ago, said I'd like to be able to do a circular yoke for a baby. Yeah, but we don't like to pull jumpers over heads, so you're better doing a little opening at the back and doing a circular yoke that way. But with crochet, it's dead simple. So go and find the Maisie and Ruth Maisie and Ruth YouTube channel, and she's got a lot of patterns. I've only watched that particular one because it was of interest to me at the time on the onesie. I watched a little bit of it, but I mainly followed the pattern through the Pinterest board, my Pinterest board. Another pretty version. Again, this was a picture I saw. I didn't look at any patterns. I just worked out how to do the shape. And you see, the thing is with crochet, is you can start from any sort of shape. You can start from a square, an oblong, a hexagon. I'm trying to think what a 5-point is. Is it a pentagon? Pentagon? No, probably. And also, but the hexagon is quite useful for a lot of different projects. Now this one will go with my little dress, and it's a pair of shorts. I didn't put any opening on the shorts for this because it's easy enough just to pull down, see, because it's got a stretch. So I think that's a little big for a baby, a newborn, or a 0 to 3. This might be more of a bigger size, but it's a start. It was a trial, to be fair. I didn't do it on a piece of scrap yarn. I could just pull it back slightly for a couple of rows, and that would be small enough. But yeah, you get the idea, don't you? So there's the little leggies. That's the gusset that's just sewn together, and the other leg. And that's the elasticated waist. I have got it so that there are some holes in there so that you can put in a drawstring, you know. And then finally, yeah, I'm almost at the end. I worked away. Again, this is a bit of a trial, but I've got something left to do on it, but I just wanted to show it you first anyway. And that is a cocoon. There you go. So it's like a bag in lots of different colours. And then I shaped it at the top, and there's buttonholes up here so I can button it. And then what I want to do is I've created a couple of little raised edges so I can follow them to make a couple of straps to go over, a bit like a dungaree cocoon. But that's what I'm working on at the moment. Well, working through the idea at the moment. I like that. It'll be cozy in a pram. I recently saw an post, I think it was on the King Cole website, which mentioned that I think the UK government is concerned about babies being too warm when they sleep. So from what I gather, it was saying that if you, they were taking patterns off for hooded sleeping bags because they were concerned about babies getting too hot. So that's maybe something to consider when you're making things. But yeah, I like that. I like the colours, of course. So how many things have I made? Well, that's 1, 2, 3. Let's put the little bow back on it. 5, 6, 7, and I'm actually on number 8. I decided to change my colours for that. These are based on one set of colours, and the one I'm starting on is in a different range of colours. This colour, which is called Cerise. Now, King Cole Prize, I've been seeing a lot of this across Facebook. People are selling them on their yarn pages. And I thought, well, I've not really used King Cole Prize before. It's not one I know about. I have always stuck to my Stylecraft Special DK, which has generally a cottony feel to it, I feel. But this is more of a woolly feel. And if you look at if I come up close, you can see it's got that kind of woolly look. I was looking at how yarns are created, and this King Cole Prize double knit is made of 100% premium polyester. Now, polyester is non-biodegradable, but what polyester is, and it's now being used a lot in recycled yarn because it recycles. So you can, this is King Cole is a mill in the UK. It's in Skipton in the UK, Yorkshire. But the actual yarn is made in Turkey under license for King Cole. Much like Stylecraft is made in Turkey. It's washable at 30 degrees. I often wash acrylic or anything like that on my 30 degree cycle for 15 minutes, and it's enough. This colour shade is cerise, and I just love this colour as a contrast to all the other colours. They all seem to work together. So I have lots of different colours to work with. I've got my nice sunny bright colours in here, and this one I love as well. This is a sunshine yellow. Now this is very much the colour, one of the colours for 2025. This and the minty colour, that's another good colour that's coming through in 2025. So 2 colours there that I like. A lot of the time I do the colour trends, but I also add my own colours that I think might go well with them, if you know what I mean. I'll show you a couple of the palettes that I'm using that I feel will go well in 2025. So I add my own sometimes. Now, I've come to the end of that. Wee! Oh, I keep that on because what I want to do now is make because it's 6-sided, I've done a 6-sided shape. That's a hexagon shape. Now all I do is fold it up just like that in half, and you get the other side. Isn't that so simple? So simple, I could not believe it, how simple it was. So that's the other side. And so what I do now is using my hook and the yarn I've already got on the needle, I just pick up 1 stitch from one edge and double and slip stitch it. So I'm going to slip stitch this whole edge as the shoulder seam. That is so crazily simple. I've given you away my tip now, haven't I? But I'm sure there are, I can't make as many as I would love to make. It would take me forever on my own. So at least if I show you what you can do that yourself, can't you? Feel the fear and do it anyway. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. Feel the fear and do it anyway. I'm thinking that I might use yellow to be the contrast colour, because I think that and the mint's going to look good. Lilac is another good one that would go well with mint, so I might do that. I've got plenty of lilac. Well, you'll soon find out, won't you? There you go. Just picking up one edge and the other edge, just on the top. See? Nothing particularly, not through the whole thing, just the one loop, and then slipping the stitch. Whoops, I've just lost that one. That was clever, wasn't it? Let's do it again. So I've got one, hang on, there. I've picked up that back loop there and the back loop of the other side there, pull it through, and that's a slip stitch. So that's basically my tip for not having to sew. I can sew, and I have done a bit of sewing, but I don't unless that's the simplest way of doing it. So now I've got my little 2 pieces of my cardigan, and I'm going to join them together. And like I said, I think I might use Oh, where's it gone? It's completely different colour, but I've got a little of it left. So I might just do the cardigan edges in that and make a panel for down the back. So that's my next little job. And so that it all fits in, I can put a little row of crochet along the edge of the arms and along the bottom. So I hope you've enjoyed that little tour around my Pinterest boards and what I'm crocheting at the moment, and my crochet art. That's what I call it, crochet art, because that's all it is. It's made up of shapes and colours, and my love of colour in both crochet and knitting. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that today, and I will see you again shortly with another episode. There's a lot of things in my mind going on, as you know. We're bubbling around there. I'm not sure what you're going to get next. See you soon. Bye now.
The margin of a bay, 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance, and then my heart